Hello, I'm Dr. Trevor Johnson-Steigelman. I'm a physics professor at Finger Lakes Community College, and I'd like to talk to you today about engaging your students using Poll Everywhere. I'm going to show you how to make interactive activities using Poll Everywhere, how you can create questions in Poll Everywhere, and then place those questions inside PowerPoint. Poll Everywhere is a way to ask interactive questions. It's a great tool for formative assessment. That's the type of assessment where you're just kind of seeing whether students are understanding what you're talking about. You're not giving them a grade on it necessarily. It's also a great way to monitor student attention. If you've got a lot of students in the classroom or you're teaching online, it's a great way to check to see that students are answering your questions. If they're not answering questions, for some reason they're not paying attention. Okay, it's also can be used for review, and most importantly, it is a free tool that all you need to do is sign up with your email. I have signed up for it myself, and I've only gotten 2 emails from them. One was to verify my information. The other was after I watched a few videos on learning how to use the system. I haven't gotten anything from them since, so I'm sure they're not going to spam your inbox. Okay, a couple of things about what Poll Everywhere is not. It is not an attendance tracker. If you've used clickers in the past, it's not quite a clicker system. You can't really keep track of who answered what unless you pay for a subscription. So the subscriptions are a little pricey. I've been able to get away without using anything other than my email to pay for the system. So Poll Everywhere calls everything an activity. There's a bunch of different types of activities that you can use. You can ask multiple choice questions. You could make a word cloud. You can put in clickable images. There's all kinds of things that you can use for this. So once you sign up, go in and check those other choices out. I'm going to stick to multiple choice questions today. Your general workflow is you're going to make an activity and then you're going to put it into a presentation. Now, to put it into your presentation, you do have to download a plugin for whatever system that you're using. But once you do that, it's very easy. After you make it and put it into a presentation, you give the presentation to your students. You're talking for a little bit, and then you ask them a question. Students will respond to that question. They can use their laptops, they could use a Chromebook, they could use their phone, they could use an iPad. There's a ton of different ways they can do it. They could even text in a response. Okay, once they answer, you can share the results and discuss them with your students. This is where the learning takes place. What I often do with my students is have them talk in small groups with each other to figure out what the right answer is. You could also just ask a student in the audience to explain why they picked a particular answer, or you could just explain it yourself. But the idea here is that you're giving them the feedback on what the question is right away. So let's actually take a look at one of these. This is an actual set of questions that are in PowerPoint in my presentation. And you'll notice here, it gives students the website to sign into. Once they sign into this, or even if they don't sign in, they can just go in and start answering questions there. They could also text my name to here, and then they can pick the answers to show up. This first slide is only showing what the answer responses are. It's not showing what people have responded to yet. On this screen, you can activate it. You can decide to show the responses if you want to. You could lock it down if you wanted to, or if something went wrong, you could clear the responses. There's also things you can do to change the color scheme and so on. To do most of the neat stuff with that, you do need to pay for it. But all these other parts are just part of the program. They're free. So right now, down here at the bottom, you can see only 6 people have replied. As you watch, that number will jump up as students respond to that. On the next slide, it shows you what the students have picked. So I usually don't show this to my students until after I've seen that counter down in the bottom fill up to just about the total number of students that I have. And you can see here that Turning Yourself About was the favorite of the students. Split between these other ones, nobody picked A. This would be the point when you would ask your students why they picked the particular answer. You could have them talk with one another in small groups or in think, pair, share type of an idea for it. All different kinds of ways that you can use this. Now, this last slide looks just like the one before, but this is the locked version. If you have a student that is answering late, they won't, their new response won't show up on this particular slide. So this is the Poll Everywhere website. You can see here that I am logged in at the moment. And if you're not, there'll be a button over here to sign up. Again, it's just your email to do that. If you want to know what the prices are, you can take a look here. Again, they're a little pricey, but I've been able to get away with the free version. But before you get started, you'll want to go here to the apps option. Click on that and scroll down a little bit, and you can choose your platform. Notice you can do it for Windows, you can do it for Mac, you can use Keynote, you can use Google Slides as well. Probably as an educator, you won't use Slack. This is where students could download the app for their phone, or you could download this for your phone. That's up to you. But once you click on this, it's going to download a small executable file. You'll run that file, and it'll put a plugin into PowerPoint for you to use. Okay, what I want to do though now is I actually want to go to the Activities tab. And you can see here, they will try to sell you the upgrades. You can view the different plans again. They have a good blog that has several different videos on it, on ways to use the system. You can create a new question here. You can actually import things. That's a little bit of an involved process, but they step you through it very nicely. Okay, you can see here a list. They don't list these as folders here, but these are basically folders. If you make a new question, it automatically goes into the default unless you pick a particular folder to put it in. Here is my demonstration. I have other ones here for my different classes, and you can see you want to put a little bit of thought into how you organize these things. But let's make a new question here. So I'm going to go to my folder of interest. I'm going to hit Actions. I'm going to add an activity. And you can see here I've got choices for the different things that I want to do. I'm going to stick with multiple choice for now. The title of the question is the question. Okay, so any type of multiple choice question that you want to put in, you can type in text for the answers. And so on. You can add options if you'd like. And so on. If you want, you can add a picture. Notice this little icon. If I click on that, I can pick a picture off of my computer to put it in. You can actually add answer or images for your answer choices. You do need to add some accessibility things here. If you add your own question or your own image, you do have to put an alt image tag on it, but that's fairly easy to do. If not, if you use one of their images or most of their question choices, they're all accessible. So you don't have to worry about accessibility if you're using this. Okay, once you've got your question in, you can hit Create. It's going to show you an example of what it's going to look like on your screen. You can play with some of the visual settings if you don't have a widescreen monitor, if you want to change the colors and so on. However, to get to most of the really neat features on the visual settings, you do have to pay a little bit of extra money. You'll want to activate the question so that it does show up. You'll probably want to deactivate it at the end of class. You could show the responses or not, and so on, and you can show this full screen. There's a lot of other choices over here. I'll let you investigate those on your own. So once you're done with it, Okay, there's no save button here. All you need to do is go back to activities, and you can see here, there's my new question. Let's go back into PowerPoint and take a look at what this looks like. So right here, I'm ready to put that information in. So I am going to hit my new menu item up here. After you install the plugin, this will show up on your screen. You could make a new question. It's a little tedious to do it here in PowerPoint. I like to do it on the web, then I can use it on anything that I want. You can still do it if you do it here. It's just a little easier to navigate on the website. Since I already have my question built, I'm going to hit Insert. Okay, it shows me my folders. I'm going to go into the folder where I just created that. Here's my question. I'm going to click on it. It's going to show me an example of it. I can delete it if I want. I can change the visual settings here as well. I could edit it if I notice at this point, oh, I made a mistake. I spelled something wrong. I could change it here. I'm just going to hit Insert Slides. And then you've got two options here. The first one is just a pure results slide. I like to do the engagement version. So if I click down here, I have to go back up, hit Insert Slides. And what this does is it gives me the instructions, it gives me the results, and then it gives me that lock slide where I don't see any more student responses. So I'm going to hit Insert Slides. It takes a moment for this to work. Okay, and there is my slide all set to go. So here you go. I've got the slide. You can see there's three versions of it here. I've got the first version where the students can't see what anybody else has done. I've got the one that shows them kind of a live version if I want, and I can skip forward to the one that's locked. Again, these two look very similar to each other, not a big deal. These extra ones down below are ones that I had already put into my presentation. That is the basics of using Poll Everywhere. There's a lot more details that you can look into. They have a lot of great videos on their website to help you out. You can find a lot of things on YouTube for it. It's great for making sure that your students are paying attention during class. It's a great way to check their understanding. And you could actually do a review using this. Now you do want to be careful. You don't want to overload students with these. I usually do a couple of slides and then maybe ask a question. Over the course of an hour, I might ask 3 or 4 questions at the most, unless I'm doing it on a particular review day. So you can get more information at the Poll Everywhere website. Here it's www.polleverywhere.com. If you'd like more information on things that I've put together related to this and other topics in teaching, you can also go to coachesoftech.com. Hopefully there's some information there that can help you out. And hopefully this has been useful to you to get you down the road to start using Poll Everywhere to engage your students. Good luck teaching.